watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
2 Israeli embassy staffers shot and killed outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in Northwest.
The suspect now in police custody, and today the shooting sending shockwaves around the world. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 4. I'm Tosin Fakile.
And I'm Mark Hall. The couple killed Yaron Luchinsky and Sarah Mgrim were leaving that event when they were approached by the suspect and then killed.
Yeah, strong reactions pouring in following this tragic loss.
If you're not enraged, you should be. And if you're not brokenhearted, you ought to be. How can we stand here like it's normal? Like this is our world. Don't you want something better?
And we have team coverage this afternoon. DC News Now's Ben Dennis is at the Israeli embassy talking with people in the Jewish community.
But first, let's head out to DC News Now's Marielle Carbone, who's awaiting the start of a news conference. Marielle, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Mark and Tosin, we're expecting to hear from the U.S. Attorney in just a bit here. But I can tell you, as you guys mentioned, people are in shock over this shooting. We spoke to a witness who was there last night, and he says he's not even sure how the suspect knew about the event. It was a private event, not publicized, and he is calling this shooting horrific.
We were all just kind of in a state of shock.
And now, nearly 24 hours later, Yanni Callan says he's still trying to make sense of what he witnessed.
It's completely unacceptable that somebody could be radicalized to this extent, to come into a Jewish museum, pretend that he's one of us, and then admit to murdering somebody.
According to police, officers received multiple 911 calls around 9:08 p.m. for shots fired at 3rd and F Streets Northwest. When they arrived, they found 2 people dead on the scene. The victims now identified as Yaron Luchinsky and Sarah Mgrim, who both worked for the Israeli embassy. The couple, set to be engaged soon, was attending an event on humanitarian aid at the Capitol Jewish Museum.
Muslim, Christian, and Jewish organizations partnering to bring aid into Gaza.
Officials say the suspect, identified as 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez from Chicago, was seen pacing outside the event.
He approached a group of 4 people, produced a handgun, and opened fire, striking both of our decedents.
Free Palestine!
This video shows Rodriguez in handcuffs yelling, "Free, free Palestine." The FBI raiding his Chicago apartment Thursday.
Shooting people in a Jewish museum doesn't free Palestine.
And I want to be clear that we will not tolerate this violence or hate in our city.
D.C. and Israeli leaders condemning the act of violence.
Together we won't be afraid. Together we'll stand, and we're going to overcome moral depravity of people who think that they're going to achieve political gains through murder.
And we're told Rodriguez went inside the museum after the shooting, was sitting in there for several minutes before admitting that he committed this crime. We know MPD is investigating, the FBI is involved, and the U.S. Attorney is prosecuting this case. That's who we're waiting to hear from within the next hour. So we'll bring you those updates on air as soon as we get them. Reporting it live downtown, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Marielle, thank you. And we're learning more about who Sarah Mgrim was. Some who knew her tell me she wanted to build a better future for Israelis and Palestinians. I talked to a gentleman who says he worked with Mgrim at an organization that works to foster peace dialogue between Israelis and Palestinians.
Obviously, shock and disbelief.
Those were Jake Shapiro's first thoughts once he heard Sarah Mgrim, someone he knew was one of the embassy staffers killed near the Jewish Museum.
I started looking at pictures with Sarah and just remembering the good times and the hard times and all the work that she did to try to avoid this exact reality.
A reality, Shapiro says, cannot be avoided.
This conflict is everywhere. There's no running from it. We can't, ignore it. We can't hide from it. Israeli and Palestinian lives are being taken all over the world.
Jake says he worked directly with Sarah at Tech to Peace, an Israeli-Palestinian peace-building organization.
Tell me about Sarah as a person. What was she like?
Sarah was bright, shining. She was so eager to help with anything. Just came full of energy and goodwill and purpose. And she really, wanted to make a better future for both sides in this conflict.
The Israeli ambassador says Sarah Mgrim was about to be engaged to Yaron Luchinsky.
even more of a tragedy. In advance of this celebration and the rest of her life that was supposed to happen.
Mgrim and Lashinsky were killed while leaving an event at a Jewish museum. The suspect yelled, "Free, free Palestine," after he was arrested. Shapiro's message to world leaders:
end this madness, end the violence. It's not serving anyone. It's not in anyone's interest. Violence begets violence. There must be another way.
And to Sarah, he says,
thank you, Sarah, for being a champion of peace and a good person in this world. You're missed and remembered, and may your memory be a blessing for peace.
Now, Jake tells me he finds some comfort in knowing condolences and remembrance messages for Sarah Mgrim are coming in from both Israelis and Palestinians.
Tosin, thank you. Grief continued to pour in this afternoon for that young couple gunned down outside of the Jewish Museum. Also, a message of resilience. Local Jewish leaders are telling us now is a time to remain steadfast in the fight against anti-Semitism. DC News Now's Ben Dennis joining us live outside of the Israeli embassy. And Ben, what are leaders telling you that today?
Well, Mark, tonight there is a resounding message of resilience and a renewed effort to fight anti-Semitism after last night's deadly attack in downtown D.C. Outside of the Israeli embassy where we are, the photos of hostages held by Hamas on October 7th continue to be projected outward as a sign to fight hateful rhetoric and violence. Security here continues to include additional fencing outside embassy walls. Rabbis, heads of Jewish groups, they're eager to share their feelings tonight. First, of profound sadness, and notably the need to continue to fight any kind of hatred and violence as war continues to grip the Middle East and upend so many lives. The toll now directly on American soil after last night's killings. The CEO of the Jewish Federation of Greater Washington says that he was home on the couch when a text appeared on his phone about the shooting. He says his organization will review security protocol, which could include training and physical security as well.
Couple who was at this event focused on bridge building and peace, and then they were brutally murdered. We had a staff meeting earlier today, and people were crying because this is not only an attack that we read about, but something that many of us could have been at, and some of us were at.
And coming up in the next half hour, a local rabbi and his message tonight of grief and reflection on fighting anti-Semitism. And from the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum on the National Mall, their chairman saying, quote, insightful anti-Semitic rhetoric is a growing and increasingly deadly danger to Jews and societies worldwide. It must be forcibly and universally condemned. Now, the Capitol Jewish Museum says they plan to reopen in the coming days with the necessary security in place. We'll see you in the next half hour outside of the Israeli embassy in Northwest D.C. Ben Dennis, back to you.
Ben, thank you. Meanwhile, the White House sending condolences to the victims and their families during today's White House press briefing. Secretary Caroline Leavitt says that the Justice Department will prosecute to the fullest extent of the law.
The evil of anti-Semitism must be eradicated from our society. I spoke to the Attorney General this morning. The Department of Justice will be prosecuting the perpetrator responsible for this to the fullest extent of the law. Hatred has no place in the United States of America under President Donald Trump.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reacting to the news, saying that, quote, we are witness to the terrible cost of the anti-Semitism and wild incitement against the state of Israel. Blood libels against Israel have a cost in blood and must be fought to the utmost.
And meantime, Netanyahu says the country is days away from implementing a new aid system in Gaza. It comes as the United Nations says it's been trying to get the needed aid to Palestinians quickly. Aid trucks entered Gaza this week, but it has not been delivered to the Palestinians. Netanyahu says he plans to create a sterile zone where the current population will be moved and receive supplies. And for continuing coverage, you can follow us on air and online at dcnewsnow.com.
All right, Toast, let's talk a little weather. We saw a lot of clouds earlier than I thought I saw what appeared to be the sun trying to peek through.
Yeah, I haven't seen the sun. So, Damon, did the sun actually make it out today?
Not really. It's been there here and there. Mark caught one of the rare glimpses, but otherwise, this same pattern we've had since yesterday continues. We are very gray. We are very damp, and unfortunately, it's getting a little feisty in parts of the area as well. A couple of thunderstorms starting to show up because we had a couple brief peaks of sun. Now, here's that overall radar loop. Again, things have been decently active with scattered waves of rain across the DMV. Now, generally speaking, the rainfall has been a bit lighter the more north and west you go toward western Maryland, West Virginia. Nothing too much happening up that way except for that brief bit of rainfall. However, the thunderstorms, they have been developing along and south and east of the district here, and we have a severe thunderstorm warning that was just put up for Prince George's, northern Calvert, and Anne Arundel counties until 4:45 p.m. This thunderstorm developed back over Prince William County. It produced a little bit of hail there, and now it's starting to produce even a little bit more hail and heavy rain near Upper Marlboro, down toward Rosaryville, and this does stretch all the way over toward Almar Estates, Avalon Shores there as you head towards southern Anne Arundel, northern Calvert counties. There you go. Hail tracker popping up where some of that brief small hail is developing, and also 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts a threat with this storm. We also have some thunderstorms out around Anne Arundel County, but the ones to the north, not severe at this hour. So we're continuing to track these few storms, some showers as we head through the evening. Do we start to clear up, though? As we head into your Memorial Day holiday, we'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, we'll talk to you soon. Developing now in Northern Virginia, a person shot near CIA headquarters in McLean today. Police responded to Dolly Madison Boulevard. This morning, they found a victim shot outside. No word on that person's condition. This investigation is ongoing.
A teenage girl is dead after shooting and killing herself by accident while filming a video for social media. D.C. police responded to the 1700 block of Benning Road in Northeast yesterday. When they arrived, they found the 14-year-old not breathing. They went inside the apartment and they saw that she was handling a gun while filming. The gun went off, hitting her in the torso. She later died from her injuries. Well, looking ahead to the Memorial Day weekend, we take a live look out in Ocean City. AAA expects more than 837,000 Marylanders will hit the roads. D.C. metro area also expecting another busy holiday, and we spoke to AAA representative Regina Ali, who says that travelers can expect this year what they can expect for this weekend's Memorial Day activities.
Here in our region, we're expecting that number to be a little over 1 million DC area residents that will be traveling. The vast majority, in fact, about 90% will be driving to their holiday destinations. Give yourself ample time. So we know that the roadways will be busy. The DC area is expected to be one of the busiest in the country, right up there with Boston, New York, and LA. So give yourself plenty of time before you hit the roads.
And gas prices are down. It's 40 cents lower than last year nationally and 48 cents lower in the D.C. metropolitan area.
All right, still to come on your news. FBI raised the home of the suspected killer of the 2 Israeli embassy staffers. We have the latest from Chicago.
And later, a new leader at the University of Maryland. Meet the person set up to lead the athletic program.